I guess we're gonna have to find out as we get underway with the draft here, boys. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, 3-1 is the most common outcome in best of fives, but there's only 3 possible outcomes anyway, so it's not that much to say.
Do those stats add up, Trent?
3-0, 3-1, or 3-2.
That sounds right. I think he's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, you didn't answer us about the stats don't lie
lie.
Quote that we said, or the thing we said, Trent. Do stats lie, Trent? Do they?
Oh, yeah, they lie.
I knew it. We knew it, Brax. We called it.
I think that's the joke. Well, actually, that's not true. The stats don't lie. It's the people who interpret them that lie. So that's why the quote makes sense.
But yeah, but that's a
men
more
lie,
of a
women
mouthful.
lie, but stats don't lie. Because the men and the women talking about the stats, the ones who are lying, because they're interpreting.
The stats aren't capable of lying.
Exactly.
I'm learning so much about
People
stats
lie.
right now.
Yeah.
I like stats.
Yeah, me too.
Stats.
Anyway, we got Dark Willow bans. Execration, that hero seems to really be moving up in their estimation, and they banned the Nyx. So is this first phase Tinker again?
I hope
You
not.
don't succeed.
I mean, it's not like there are more counters to the Tinker than just the Nyx Assassin, but I guess it's better to take it out. It very well could be a first phase pick Tinker. You're right, Baseskip. I don't know if there's a chance that Clutch ban it, because then you're leaving out like the Naga Siren, for example, potentially.
Yeah, the Naga Siren is sneaking forward here. I don't know if Execration will. Maybe they'll take it first overall.
I think she's gonna get let through here.
It's gonna either be Naga or Dark Willow, or Warlock even. So
Willow's banned. Yeah, Warlock.
Oh, Willow is banned. Sorry, I didn't see. My bad, guys.
We've seen. Has there been a Witch Doctor ban? Okay, no.
It's been picked. It hasn't been banned.
Yeah, I was banned last game.
Oh, was it?
Phase. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, they played it last game.
I'm really
All right, it was 2
curious
games
to
ago.
see.
It was first phase then.
I'm really curious to see which early core we're going to see from either of these teams that looks like it should get counted. That just doesn't.
Yep.
Probably not. I would be surprised to see Slark. Actually, am I going to be surprised to see Slark first phase again, because they owned with it, even with all these counters on in that game? I mean, is there what are the chances that they pick it again?
The one thing that I will say is that they didn't. They had like the game counters to Slark, but I feel like the thing that they were missing was really being able to pressure him in the lane. Like, if you looked at that lane with the Void and the Witch Doctor, they were just constantly getting gone on. They were having to TP out. Like, the Slark actually had a pretty easy time in lane, all things considered. And I think that's one of the other big ingredients in terms of shutting him down, is if you can just completely dumpster his lane and make sure that he never gets to a Shadow Blade, doesn't really get to start snowballing or have any room on the map. And they didn't have that at all, really.
It's going to be
It's
a Void.
definitely a very common approach to Slark. You know, you just stick some super strong dueling in front of his face, and he just gets into his 6 super slow. And then even when he gets the Shadow Blade, it comes so late that it's not that impactful anyways. So, yeah.
So this was the game 1 opener from Clutch. ETCM. Reasonably strong. That's when we saw the Tinker pick.
Tinker pick, yeah, it could happen.
So
I like this opener in terms of this patch. I feel like this is going to be a very common one. This ETCM. I feel like ET is like the perfect support that fits with Crystal Maiden. It lets you play this hero who's like kind of a weird 5-ish 4 hero. I guess she's very similar to Skywrath Mage in that way too. It's basically the same idea. It's like irritating spam, but you don't offer that team fight that you typically get out of the 4. And well, speaking of best friends with CM, I feel like Tusk is the other hero that you take if ET's banned. So both be making an appearance in this one.
I mean,
Tusk feels so much weaker now. He
does.
is another hero that's received some loving from the nerf stick. Like, he is the shards duration, cooldown. It really feels like he's the shadow of his former self.
But in the last game, Drooms played it well enough that I thought, okay, you know, I like this hero. Maybe we'll see it more in the series, and in fact, we will. I think it's a smart choice for Execration based on how they played it last game.
He has replaced Earth Spirit in that same sense of like you got to be a really good Tusk player to make this hero work, and when you're a really good Tusk player, he still looks broken.
Yep. I'd say that's
he
accurate.
is a little bit weak. Like, the one thing that I will say comparing ET and Tusk is that I feel like ET has more to say about a bunch of different lanes compared to Tusk, whereas doesn't really feel like he's impacting lanes as much. So the early game might be a little bit passive overall for Execration, but I think they can still get through into the mid game, and that's where the team fight and catch potential and stuff for these two heroes is going to look pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Tinker does get banned. There you go. They got the free ban just for,
Yeah.
Throw the first game, then you get a free ban in the third game.
It's the long con, baby.
Slark.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could ban Slark here. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and that might be another free ban. Well, I guess
they're
maybe
going
not.
ham on these chat wheels.
They really are.
They're going in. I kind of almost want to mute it, but it's too good.
What's your guys' favorite chat wheel line? Do you guys have one that just sticks out?
The one they just did. We are not that one. I don't know if that's actually what they say, but it's my favorite one. Yeah, that one. That one, and that's playing to win, baby, are my two favorites. That's playing to win, baby.
Yeah, Kyle got an excellent one there. I like the Owen and Fogged one. That might be my favorite.
What just happened?
Are you kidding me?
I'm still a big fan of the You're a Goddamn Hero because I can't tell who it is.
It's LD, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, it is.
We don't believe
trust
you,
me.
Mott. Even though we know you're right, we
Dude,
still don't believe you.
Please.
It doesn't sound like LD.
I agree. It doesn't sound like him.
It does
even though I know
sound
it's him.
like him. It is him. It does sound like him. You guys just haven't cast.
Guys, is this the Drow lineup incoming?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh.
Might be.
Is it again?
They will have one melee hero in the Elder Titan, but I think that's fine. I think they could do it.
I think Enigma's strong in his own right as well.
Yeah, Enigma's fine on his own.
He's super annoying. Just denying range creeps in this meta at the moment is so brutal. You're playing safe lane, you're telling your support, like, look, I'm playing against Enigma, you just gotta go pull. Please just go pull and let me have the lane to myself, because otherwise I'm gonna be level 4 at 8 minutes. Like,
it's the range creep meta. And this guy denies range creep, so he automatically wins.
They take the Void now for Execration.
What is up with Void in this tournament? I don't think Void is this good, personally.
I mean, they really value it. It's been picked not just in the LAN finals, but it's also been picked a lot in the regular season too. So clearly these teams value this hero, maybe more so than they probably should. But it's just an easy kind of like carry hero to play. It's just like a coverall. It gives you a lot. You can always kill people with Chronosphere pretty much regardless of what hero they're on. There are some heroes that are kind of rough to kill, but like it's just a good catch-all, cover-all kind of hero, I think, for Execration.
The whole having some sort of BKB lockdown, whole cancel, is also very appealing against Enigma.
I mean, they already have Warlock, though, right?
They do.
I think that's less of a concern. The one thing I worry about a little bit for Void this game is it's already a game where you automatically have to buy BKB. Like, I think ET just by himself, you can't afford to have the Spirit get dropped in the Chrono and then get stomped. So you are already automatically having to buy BKB here, which not that Void is a hero that dislikes buying BKB, but having to get it early kind of sucks for him.
You never want your options that limited, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they are 100% just looking at Drow right now and like, is it worth doing? Are we going to opt for it? They go Morph instead.
Yep. Now probably not a dry lineup, unfortunately. Although that would be cool if they did Drow Morph Enigma, but that would never happen, I feel like.
So this is interesting. Still got their last pick, so more than likely mid. Morph is pretty good against Void. Or I mean, he kind of used to be, I suppose. Not as much now with the way that Morph works.
The Darkseer game, right? You copy the ET, then use the the natural order to kill the Morphling, because they're actually clumped up. No, I don't know. The Lina.
Lina Void. Oof.
Okay.
It's gonna be an offlane Void now. I don't know what offlaner you can get that could actually pressure this Morphling enough to make it worth it, even though they don't have like that sustained support.
I think that's part of the problem with picking the Tusk here, is that they haven't left themselves with that option to pressure the safe lane. So this is where Clutch are just, they might even be looking at this game as one where they can just be like, we're just gonna sit back, because we've got Enigma late game. We got ET late game. We've got the ability to hold our high ground as well with Midnight Pulse and Echo Stomp. And this is a game where potentially Morphling can just get huge And as much as Morph isn't so great against Void anymore with the survivability and just being able to morph all the way through the chrono, but once you get a shotgun, you can just force Void to pop BKB on demand anytime. And it's super good with the Elder Titan as well, because you've still at least got the magic resist aura on the spirit. So all you need to do is drop that into the shotgun combo and heroes just disappear.
The Morphling pick is super smart just for that exact laning reason. With the Tusk, you're pretty much not going to be able to pick another hero that just destroys this Morphling in lane. You know, he's already set up to have a pretty decent game no matter how you put your lanes for Execration. And then now you're left with this Morphling who should have a pretty decent game and an Enigma. And a lot of teams against Enigma, they put their carry in the offlane to dodge that lane because it's very difficult when you get every single range creep denied no matter how well you do in the lane against Enigma. It's just... you're already at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah. And it also doesn't really matter how strong your safe lane, tri lane is, because the Enigma can always just keep denying creeps and then just go hit the little tri-camp jungle, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know,
very hard
it's not
to
like
stop.
you can find him. I don't know. If I'm Execration here, maybe you just pick like a Mirana or something. Just get another ranged sort of carry-ish hero.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. I could see Mirana being all right.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any offlaner that could make this work. You might have to send the Void offlaners. I think we're just kind of edging towards now. Like Doom is like the last one I could maybe see.
Yeah.
But even
is
that
there
puts
anything
you
that
on a
makes
timer.
Enigma sweat 1v1? Like, can they try and Warlock Tusk Void away from the Enigma and then have somebody who... That's interesting.
Oh, this is the Folk Read mode here. Going for the Zeus offlane probably.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking the Mirana, so I think I was thinking along kind of the same lines, just another core.
I mean, maybe if he's against the Morphling. Morphling is usually amazing at denies. Arc Lightning kind of combats that a little bit, I guess, but...
oh, boy.
Yeah, I was going to say this. The TA versus Lina matchup, I actually was going to say this. So strong for Clutch Gamers.
This is a sick TA game.
The Ajit hero as well. Ajit loves this hero, so I am in with this pick right now.
Yep, I completely agree. TA looks fantastic. Like, they can pretty much only lead with Chrono to land a reliable stun on TA before she just blinks out. And, you know, Zeus against Morphling, Zeus, you know, you got some base damage. Arc Lightning is 70 damage, so you can get some last hits, but it's just a free lane.
Yeah, exactly. Morphling's never going to be pressured. He's going to get free farm, which means he's going to have a great time. TA will have the same thing happen because it's a TA-Lina matchup, which is TA favored, so Ajit will probably have a pretty good time. So you're losing 2 lanes, I would assume. You also have to deal with the Enigma and the offlane as well. I think Clutch Gamers have a good draft here, but so I thought they had a good draft in the last game too, so I don't know. I have no idea.
I like it better this time. I feel like this Enigma just pretends Black Hole doesn't exist, does the aura build, and it looks really good for them.
Yep, I agree. Basecap, I'm sure you think the same thing as well.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I think the only way that Execration win this is like every single one of the first 3 or 4 Chaotic Offerings and Chronospheres are like perfect.
Yeah.
And they make just the right rotation, and that's the only way that I see them really winning this one.
Because they can't even take Roche that easily. They don't even take towers that easily. Like, Lina becomes the siege engine, but that's 4 items away. Difficult game, I would say.
Uwe and Gabby are talking to each other. They know each other pretty well, but I don't know what they're saying, unfortunately, so I'm sure there's just some friendly banter going on between these guys, but this should be an interesting game. Clutch Gamers are poised to go up 2-1 in the series, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch. As Execration played really well in the last game, they could do so yet again here, and it comes down to the laning phase. How are they going to lane this? Are they even going to aggro try in the top lane to try to deal with this Morphling? That might not be a bad idea, and that looks to be the case right now, Brax.
Yep, they're trying to sneak out a quick first blood probably and secure the rune because Enigma does nothing at the rune battles. So Nando can just confidently even walk up to the high ground if he wants to. There's a CM there, though.
It's going to be 3 for Execration, it looks like, unless they can... Now he has Crystal Nova, so... Yeah, they can't get the 3rd one unless Skylar can click fast enough, which you certainly cannot. Execration are going to secure 3 runes. And there's only going to be 1 picked up for Clutch Gamers. So finally, Execration in the 3rd game of the series get the 3rd rune instead of getting only 1 like they did in the last 2 games. So, cool.
I'm curious to see where the Tusk is going to play. Like, he might shard block this for Zeus so he can get experience a bit better and then just try to feed off this Enigma. But It looks like no. You know, Warlock's sitting in the mid lane. They're just gonna leave Nano to his own devices down bottom. Lumic will probably just nope, just kidding. He's making his way down.
He's just running bottom.
Yep, I thought maybe he'd hit him a bit, break the refraction, but not even necessary. It looks like.
I'm really concerned about this laning phase for Execration. I really am. I thought they might have gone aggro trying to stop the Morphling, even though I don't think that would have done that much. I don't know. They don't sit mid to deal with Ajit in the beginning of the game. He gets off to a really fast start. He gets side blades up. He starts destroying this Lina. Eidolons just start destroying Nando in the bottom lane, and then of course Morphling gets free farm top because it's essentially a free lane, even though he will have to deal with Arc Lightning. It's very early, obviously, so who knows what'll happen, but I don't know, Brax.
Yeah, it's one of the situations where we can kind of see it play out, but maybe something different will happen. Something will mix
like
it up
a
for us.
misplay or something.
Just maybe a bit of luck, you know. Someone gets shard blocked into a creep block or something. ET happens to die. Zeus has 3 clarities, but they all just get popped pretty much instantly. Even Morphling can just adapt to strike him every time that happens. And what's going on here? Yol TP's to the top lane. Okay, so they are tri-laning this. ET's level 2, so now you have the stomp to set up, but there's a ward in the lane, so they see CM.
And this is kind of what they were talking about during the draft. You want to give this Enigma kind of some free lane experience instead of just... I'll hold that thought. Uwe is going to get... This is a deep dive. Crystal Nova. They have waveform, but that's too much. So that first kind of attempted gank with Yol rotating up here does not work out. And actually, Grims is going to pull the range creep. He ice sharded and blocked the creep wave. That kind of, I think, helps Gabby a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It just means the lane's going to come back even further. He wanted to pull the second wave to give Zeus some last hits without having to nuke, but unfortunately didn't happen. Boombax actually TP's down bottom. So
Boombax. Hey, it's Boombax.
He's back.
Yeah, I've ruined it for you. I'm sorry, buddy. Nando, oh my god, they actually killed Yol in the top lane while I was watching Nando getting gone on. They will kill Nando, though. So the trade-off, yeah, you lose first blood, but taking down the Void is pretty imperative for Skylark and Clutch gamers. So I think even though the first blood went to Execration, it's a little bit better for your Clutch gamers. I don't know, maybe if you, I don't know if you agree.
No, it still is definitely better for Clutch being able to kill the Faceless Void. He'll lose some last hits, and then they can just control the waves even more. But yeah, you know, that's something for Zeus, because this hero, if he doesn't actually make it to that Soul Ring and he runs out of mana, that's when he has to end up just like running all the way back to base or sit there and just regen with the clarity, and it takes absolutely forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much needed.
Gabby, of course, still getting essentially free farm. The Void, with him dying, is now going to fall behind in CS. Lena, she's going to get CS when this lane, or when this TA gets a bit more experience. Then it gets really hard. You get like side-trapped and you get run down with Ajit. Couple more levels of refraction and side blades, then things get tricky. But TA will start really accelerating within the next few minutes, and I think this lane gets really hard for Carl. But he's doing a good job hitting LSAs and taking the refraction off when he does so. But
it's actually fine now because Ajit has no mana left.
Yep.
Unless he wants to bring out some mangoes or something.
He might.
He can win this lane.
He has a mango, I think, on the courier. All right, Gabby got a kill. I've missed 2 of the 3 kills already in this game. I'm losing it. This is your fault, Brax. I'm blaming you.
It is my fault. I'm pointing out irrelevant details, getting you really...
He's got no mana. I just... that's not your fault. I was looking at it before, so... It's okay. I won't blame you this time.
Next time, I better watch out.
Yeah. You'll owe me another burrito. Someday I'll get that burrito.
You could have had it.
When?
At the summit.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got us burritos anyway, so what did it matter? I didn't need it from you. Not to say that your burrito is worse than their burritos.
My burrito is worse.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. That sounded really rough, and I didn't mean it to. Gabby kind of baiting, but also going after Uwe, and Gabby's going to back up. And they need to... Oh, my God. That knockback was incredible. Gabby will survive, though. Meanwhile, they're going to chase Boombox down bottom. Nando has time dilation, but he won't chase too far. Enigma level 4 now with level 2 Eidolons, working on, I guess, a Medallion. Or no, a Buckler, probably. Right? I don't know.
Oh, it's Medallion. He went Medallion in his last Enigma game, too.
Wow.
Just gives you a lot more kill potential.
I was right the first time, man. Uh-oh, Lumic. See ya. Not only did you not get the bounty rune, you also fed away a kill. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunate indeed. That's rough. Right. And then now mid lane's at that part of the game where you need sentries, where you just can't sit mid against TA because you're going to get trapped and die.
Yeah. Life is rough for Carl. He has to go back and shrine.
Carl just shrined, and
they
Zeus
did not.
and Tusk were on the way.
Yeah. Oh man, that's some tilting stuff as a teammate. That's some flame right there. That's some.
That is.
Ooh, crash and burn. That should have been the go-to emote right there. Gabby's sitting at a total of 1600 HP. He was getting gone on it. I think he strength morphed just to be safe. He does 29 damage. Gabby, you're a fucking madman.
It looks like he's gonna go back and shrine, then he'll come back to lane a full HP. So, you know, Nando, he's almost 6. Just got to 5. Skylark, not 5 yet.
Oh my god. Ajit's 2 levels ahead of Carl. Holy shit.
This is what happens when you have such a dominant mid lane. And he has almost doubles. He has 16 denies. That's the big thing right there that denies. And now, of course, he gets an Arcane Rune, so this gets even worse. And this is also with Crystal Maiden Aura, so you just always have mana for Refraction.
Yeah. Life is miserable for the Lina right now, especially if she gets dove by Boombox. I think she knows he's here. Oh.
If she doesn't, this is really bad because she might walk across the
my! How did she not see him? That's pretty incredible.
The sentry doesn't see the trap mid lane, so if she walks up, she could very well just die.
She's not going to. Gabby, god damn it! Can you stop killing people in the other lane? Are you fucking kidding?
Don't worry, mid, not mid.
I got it. Carl's definitely dead. Very far. Maybe not! I spoke way too soon. Unbelievable! Oh my god, what a fairy fire. They won't lose anything for this for the Dire, but that is still... Whew! That could have been a big kill for Ajit. Instead, he's going to miss out on it. That sucks for him.
That was a fantastic Light Strike array.
Yeah, huge LSA for sure. And really, just a good Shadow Word in time. Good Fairy Fire. Good combination of spells and items coming out. Meanwhile, Nando bottom lane, they don't have Black Hole yet, but Nando is getting gone on. In fact, he's in trouble. He's going to have to Chrono, and he does. And that might actually get him the kill because here comes Carl. Unfortunate timing for them to rotate in like that. It was so close for a kill from Boombox. But once you have that Chronosphere, you know that you're probably not going to end up getting that kill because he just uses it defensively.
Yeah, that was a very nice time, the rotation from Carl. He does not want to sit mid against this level 8 Templar Assassin who's just going to deny every creep because he has Crystal Maiden Aura, and you know he's always going to have his Refraction up for every single deny. It's miserable. Get me out of this lane.
Yeah, get me out indeed. He's sitting on top of a ward. They know where Carl is right now. I'm going to assume, and you can tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I'm going to assume, even with the farm that TA has, that you still want to go Blink first in this game just to get on top of these heroes and to get away from something like a Chronosphere.
Ooh, actually, I'm not too sure about that.
No?
It definitely varies. It's a playstyle thing. Some players prefer it so that they just can't die at all.
Yeah.
And they can exert some early pressure. But the Deso just... It makes you farm so ridiculously fast that a lot of players just go straight for the Deso, but he hasn't brought out the Blightstone yet, which makes you think it could be a Blink Dagger, but it's still pretty unusual. You know, Blightstone, with all the negative armor, it's quite value. You usually see it almost no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's a bit odd.
Yeah, we'll find out. Skylark has Hole, but he doesn't have the mana for it. He might use it here.
Yeah,
they have the damage. Eidolons, you gotta micro your Eidolons. Micro your Eidolons! Micro your Eidolons! Oh, okay, he did it anyway. It was fine. He was attacking the Hill Trolls with like 3 of them, so I got really tilted there for a moment.
Yeah, they split as they were attacking, and the ones that split weren't attacking the Faceless Void, but they had plenty of damage.
I mean, it's not like you're doing anything anyway while you're black holing, right?
Exactly.
You just might as well make sure your Eidolons are attacking the right target.
Wait, you mean you don't take your hands off the keyboard when you black hole?
I mean, I do sometimes. When I when I get a huge black hole, I generally stand up and like cheer. You know how I cheer when I play games and I get a huge play. Yeah! Kind of thing.
It's contagious.
Dude, that's why people like playing with me. They don't like playing with me when I tilt hard and flame my team. But you know, it's a give and take sort of thing. So.
Well, speaking of tilting hard and flaming, Boombox just casually finds Lina, steals the big creep, and walks away. It's a rough life.
Life is good for Boombox. Level 5. The supports on the Radiant have a severe experience issue. They're not growing, which I know a lot of guys have a problem with, but
yeah, but these guys especially, right?
Yeah. They're getting emasculated currently.
That's rough because their heroes, they definitely need to grow to actually be useful in this game. Warlock desperately needs 6. Like, he'll probably take the Tome to get 6, but that means you're left with a level 4 Tusk at 10 minutes into the game. Not great. Uh-oh. Chemo's just walking up the hill. He
What is he? What is he doing? They Zeus ult, I believe. No, they didn't. He has it, though. Lumik's dead anyway. Here comes the Chronosphere. This will be a Zeus ulti. They might be able to get at least 1 out of this. Snowball, they're going to try to go for 2 and be a bit greedy. The Zeus ult will clear up Skylark, so that's going to be a killing spree taken by Nando. But here we go, mid lane. Carl teeping away the Melt Strike. Not enough damage. It was so close. Just not enough. Carl was able to get out just in time. Now they're looking for Grims. He's going to get caught. The stomp's going to hit for sure. Snowball back up in 3. He does have the ice shards. Frostbite is there. They're going to use it. Still kind of a tricky kill with the snowball and the ice shards. He's going to try to block off the wave and get up. That's exactly what he's going to do. Perfectly done.
Fancy.
Yeah, they'll keep chasing for now, but instead of getting a kill for like a 1-for-1 trade in that fight, losing Skylark, they get nothing out of it. And that's pretty gigantic. That was a nice play coming in from Execration and getting Nando back into this game, essentially.
Yep, that was very, very well played. But, you know, Lumic actually managed to get the bounty run before he died, so, you know, not too bad. It's all about the goal.
Oh, it was a 1-for-1, sorry, wasn't it?
Look at this. Lumic's making his way up top lane. He's going for the legendary
He's getting the bounties.
11-minute bounty run. Yep.
Lumic's a god. What a player.
Goodness.
He walked up like the hill twice in a row, honestly. It's actually kind of insane. Pole's still down for 40. Stomp about to hit, but Nando just jumps away. They know that he's there, though. Earth Splitter to come through, and now he's blocked in. The Frostbite comes out. He is in a lot of trouble. Eidolon should finish him off. He doesn't have stick charges to work with, and that will be him falling. But now Skylark getting caught by Uwe, who's doing a lot of damage because he's a support Zeus. And he's got, of course, max level lightning bolt. Boombox is going to get caught, too. They stay a little too long, but here comes Gabby. Stomp about to hit. Uwe is in trouble. He is dead. Oi, 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 indeed. Grims and Lumic getting run down, but they should be fine. Gabby has already used Morph. That Adaptive Strike's going to stun and push back quite a bit. They have Frostbite if they can get there. Also, the Freezing Field as well. Waveform in, the Stomp about to hit. Golem turnaround. Yol might be in trouble, but the Sleep hits onto the Golem, which means that they can't chase further. Well, maybe they can. Freezing Field comes out. That's, that was optimistic, I would say, but there was nothing else he could do, to be fair.
You know, at the end of the day, that's a Golem for a Crystal Maiden.
Yeah,
you're not too upset on the side of Clutch after that.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. And they get the Tier 1 tower mid, plus they also got the Tier 1 tower top earlier from Gabby. They have a 4K lead, so...
Mott, you're right. Templar Assassin, win for the Blink Dagger.
Boom! Called it.
There you go.
So good. It's, I think Baseskip was talking about it during the draft where, or it was one of you guys. I don't remember. It wasn't me. That's all I know.
Definitely not me.
Where it's just like, it's so nice to have... hold that thought. Lumic's going to get killed. Chronosphere to escape from Nando, and he might very well, but... Stomp misses. Vision-wise, they don't see Nando. They do now. He time walks back under the tower. They're going to take this Tier 1. But anyway, going back to my point, it's just like they don't have any real reliable lockdown in terms of being able to stop him from blinking away with this refraction, you know?
Yep, that is very true. And once you have that Blink Dagger, it lets you play in a way where you can exert even more pressure just because you can play up in these dangerous positions where most heroes normally couldn't play because of that lack of reliable lockdown. So yeah, very nice. But man, this it's already a 5,000 gold lead at 13 minutes, and you're playing up against such a scary lineup in the TA, Morphling, Enigma. Like, you're all gonna hit these gigantic item power spikes that are just way too difficult to deal with. Like, what happens when TA has Deso? You know, Lena's gonna get 2-shot, Void's gonna die in like 1 stun. All these heroes are just gonna fall over pretty much when TA hits you twice.
Yep.
It just doesn't get much better at all. That Enigma too, you have to worry about this constant black hole threat.
I mean, they do have good counter initiation for the black hole, but usually the Enigma is going to just not use that black hole until he absolutely has to, and all of the abilities have been expended, like Chrono and
exactly. How can you not use your Warlock ultimate when TA just blinks into you and attacks?
Yeah, you're just going to die. So it's either you use it at the beginning of the fight or you don't use it at all in that situation.
Exactly. And even the Morphling can force out like a potential bad Warlock ultimate because you're just going to get shotgunned. You know?
Yeah.
You'd way rather use it than not.
So this game doesn't really get easier for Execration.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
And this Void, like, it's a good hero for like a catch-all and like having winning games based off of big Chronospheres, maybe even late game. You can also do damage, but like in this situation when you're this far behind, it just feels like it's so much on you in this game. I feel like for this Faceless Void to hit big Chronospheres and stuff.
Yep, I've got good news though. Tusk just hit level 6.
Oh my god, are you kidding?
No, not at all.
Life is miserable.
Lena almost has her Yules too, so you know they're starting to come online slowly, but it looks way too slow.
She's like 2,000 behind the TA, which is not surprising given the matchup, but like, dear God, this is and Gabby just continues to free farm, and he's still somehow behind that of the TA. Although he's getting run at now. Boombox is gonna spot Nando. Yeah, they saw him, and he has no idea. I guess Nando didn't see Boombox running in somehow. Gabby's still saying here, he does not care. He's like, if you want to go on me, I'm going to have my button up. He's got the attribute shift almost certainly. He's got his finger hovering over it. Grims is dead. Should be dead. They have the ensnare. Nope, no, they used it already. Just kidding. Snowball? Ice Shard gets everybody else out. Meanwhile, Yol kills Lumic. There's the Laguna Blade. Dust up. Grims is going to live. Boombox will not. Somehow they turn it. There's going to be the Chronosphere. Gabby's in trouble. Is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. They steal the Lina, which might have been a mistake. Yeah, it was almost certainly a mistake.
Definitely a mistake.
Are we seeing the throws again, my friend? Because it seems like it. Skylark's looking for a hole, but he's just going to run up and get killed. That's a triple kill for Carl. All right, game salvage, Brax. That's it. It's fine.
Carl's got a game now, Mod. You know, Carl accidentally walked into the Chronosphere too, where he got caught inside it on the very, very edge. And because of that, I was like, oh god, this Morphing's gonna live now. But then instead of attribute shifting, he actually turns into the Lina,
yeah.
gets stunned, and then just dies.
If he attribute shifted instead of turning into the Lina, that would have been fine.
Yep.
Obviously, the TA wasn't there. If they had gotten like the TA kill, that would have been even better. And this game is really back in favor of Execration. But even with that big kill, you know, they need a lot more. That was like step 1 of like 4, I think, in this situation to get back into the game.
Yep, it was a step in the right direction. You know, it's interesting that
maybe they can get another one. Oh my god, the Zeus ult plus lightning bolt damage. That's step 2.
That's step 2, right? They're climbing these steps awfully quick, Mod. They might trip on their way up.
Step 3 is to tip. They have done that successfully. Well done.
My goodness.
Dude, I cannot believe the amount of, like, I don't want to say throws, but the amount of comebacks and ridiculous plays we've seen in this tournament so far.
That's a good way to put it, comebacks.
Yeah.
You know, that way you're appreciating
it's not disparaging.
the good play rather than the bad play.
Exactly. I won't get flamed for biasness like I usually do.
That's my job.
Perfect.
I love Execration.
You've said that numerous times. You're not lying about that.
No, I'm not at all. I just like the way they play. They play fast, and they're always like... They never play scared. I can appreciate that.
Incoming Reddit thread for Brax.
It's all going to be, wow, we love Execration too.
Yeah, probably, actually. Given how this team plays, they're pretty fun to watch. But they won't get Roche. They have no idea this is happening. They smoked inside the pit. Ajit's taking a lot of damage, though, but he does finally get it done. That took a lot longer than I thought it would with Desolator and level 4 meld, you know?
Yeah, Roshan, it's a lot tougher nowadays, especially with the scaling on Roche being changed, but... You know, they got a shrine up so they can keep up this aggression. And, yeah, the Aegis on TA lets you play so aggressively in these fights because you're basically jumping into the back lines, and you don't care if you get chronoed. Because by the time they kill you, the rest of your team's just going to come in and clean house.
Yeah. So, blink in. See you later, Uwe. Yeah.
He survived 3 hits. That was 1 more than I thought.
Yeah, I thought he would be dead in 2. Lucky bastard. But he will end up falling. It's a support Zeus, not the end of the world. He actually has a lot of net worth for a support slash offlane Zeus. I guess it was an offlane Zeus, but
it's basically support, though, right?
Yeah, I kind of forgot that it was offlane and not a support. Oops. Carl has his Shadow Blade now. Salvaged game is salvaged. Boombox is dead. See ya.
All right, very nice, very nice. And all of a sudden, Carl 5-0 after such a horrendous start.
Oh my god, he didn't die yet? That one death, that could, like, he could have been even further behind with that one death in the mid lane and the good LSA that he hit onto 2, so life is pretty good for him. Obviously, you're still playing against the TA, which means life is still pretty bad, but...
Yeah, still gonna get 3-shot, but he has a game.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually able to do things.
Is there any way you, besides Yules, is there any way you can survive this 3-shot from Ajit? Like, do you want to go Ghost Scepter, or do you just build it to something else?
At some point, you'll probably go towards, like, a Shiva's or a Hex. Just something that lets you either jump the TA right away or survive.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of the most important things when you're playing against TA, that you're able to survive the initial burst damage, because when you can, that's TA jumping into 5 heroes. She's going to get focused, you know? And if she can't blow you up immediately, then everything's good.
Well, they will try to push with a TA. In the meantime, Nando's trying to take the tier 2 top. It'll take him some time, but he certainly can. They do have the Boombox mid Elder Titan, but now he's left, and Melina was looking for him. Won't be able to find him, although she might be able to go for the tower herself. That seems to be the case. They might actually get a tier 1 and a tier 2 out of this for pretty much nothing. This is really important. They're going to TP back mid with Yol. He needs to be careful, though. This tower is dead. Denying, not even close. Yule Scepter from Carl, LSA just to get out. He misses the LSA. Blink, though, from Ajit wasn't there.
Well, the dust was in his backpack, so it was cooling down for 6 seconds.
They do hit it, but
man,
he's really fast, so getting this is going to be tricky. Meanwhile, Gabby going to get chronoed as he gets the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, but Zeus ult too.
Yeah, he's dead. So I don't know what Gabby's doing with these plays, but
oh boy,
that was not the play, I'm sure. And that tip is almost certainly worth. That's a great tip, in all honesty.
It is indead.
Carl's gonna find a free kill. This game, what is happening? What are you doing? I don't understand what's going on in this game right now.
He still might be dead. You know, TA's.
Nope.
Giving him the chase.
Yep. Nope.
Nope. Oh my
it's a roller coaster of emotions.
You know, Yol on the CM did get the bounty rune though. Carl didn't kill him before that happened, so.
Great. It's something.
You gotta appreciate the small things.
If I was in this game right now, I would have just like, when I start losing a game and I start feeling really bad about a game, and Trent will vouch for me with this, I'll start being like, I can't believe we're losing this game. This is so dumb. And Trent has to calm me down every time because the game's not over yet. But I'm in this situation where we've lost like 4 fights in a row, and I just like, I get so tilted. And I'm just like, I can't believe we're going to lose to these fucking idiots or something like that. And then
it's just the whole downward spiral.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so negative. And I feel like if I was in this game for Clutch Gamers, that's exactly how I would be reacting, even though there's no real need to react like that. But like, it was a 7,500 gold lead that has now gone to about 1K. And I just can't believe that they've let this spiral this badly out of control. Although maybe they could find a fight here. Lumik does have Golem. He's going to attempt a TP, and he will probably make it out. He will. Nando in trouble to hurl Boulder, but he's got a BKB. See you later. Earth Splitter was not there. It was on cooldown.
She's gone.
Man.
All right. They get away with murder there, basically. There's 4 heroes from the side of Clutch just closing in on them, and they both just escape. There's a BKB on TA. She still has Aegis. It's still go time, even though the gold lead has been brought back. Like, TA is a very explosive hero in terms of playstyle and just how far she can accelerate in the game. So, you know, it's not over by any means, right? And that was BKB use, so they've got some opportunities here to make things happen.
I mean, they are like 1 or 2 fights away from really breaking this game back open in favor of them and like getting like back to a 5 or 6K gold lead. But it just feels as if the momentum has slipped in such a way that Execration are in a perfect position. They're going to have a BKB for Carl pretty soon. He'll still be susceptible to the TA destroying him. TA is probably going to go for another damage item here in a moment, whether that's like MKB or Bloodthorn or even a Hurricane Pike potentially. We'll see. And once they do get that next item for that TA, then things start really getting problematic because they don't have enough to survive in terms of armor yet. So there's always that possibility, and we'll see. You know, maybe this TA can continue to break this game wide open.
There is indeed always that possibility, but I don't know. Execration, they're playing the map really well. Like, Carl got 600 damage on the tier 3 top while TPing out, and now all of a sudden you just have 3 heroes on Clutch in that area trying to find anything. There's no Aegis on TA anymore. There is a gem onto Boombacks, but it's one of those things, right? If you lose this gem, then all of a sudden you're giving away a gem against TA, and they're going to find all your traps. These traps make the game so difficult and annoying to play because you can't actually push even after a team fight if there happen to be traps in the lane. And if you ever just happen to take a fight around the traps, you're probably going to lose straight up because they do so much damage and they slow you forever.
A ton of damage. 200 side trap damage is pretty good. So, yeah, this game is still hanging in the balance, but, you know, by a lot, in fact. We've yet to see, like, a big black hole. Of course, it's really hard in this game to have one because we've already talked about Warlock Golem, Chronosphere, even, like, Zeus Lightning Bolt if he's not in the hole, or even LSA, but he will be going for a BKB, which limits, essentially, black hole canceling abilities to 2 in the Golem and the Chronosphere. So, yeah, if he gets the BKB, things get a little bit easier. They'll go for a blink afterwards, so he is going to try to focus on becoming sort of the black hole user instead of just going for straight-up ores the rest of the game, which he does have already, a Helm of the Dominator, a Pipe, and a Medallion, which he could turn into a Solar Crest, but he's holding on to it, so maybe that's what it comes down to, is this big Chrono or this big black hole, and that's how the game turns around for one of these teams, but I have no idea, so.
Yep, you have the newly picked up Pipe on Enigma, so you have some damage mitigation against the Zeus, very important, but Zeus, he's so close to his Aghanim Scepter, and I'm sure everyone's experienced this. Aghanims on Zeus, once the Nimbus comes out, this guy transforms into a whole new beast. You know, the 6th hero enters the game. and things just get bad real quick. All of a sudden, your Crystal Maiden, no matter where she is, she can never cast ultimate. She just gets bursted from full HP by the Nimbus Lightning Bolt and Thunder God's Wrath combo.
It's pretty rough to play around. Not only do you have to now focus on playing around Chronosphere and Golem, but playing around the Nimbus is an extra added thing. And if they drop Nimbus on the Chronosphere or the Golem, forget about it. Life gets hard. Nando might be in trouble. He does have BKB. Maleficus comes in. They could hole. Frostbite comes out. Nando's taking a lot of damage. He's going to jump, go for the Chronosphere. And he's looking for Skylark. The Laguna Blade comes out. He's dead. LSA coming in, but TA still has the BKB going. Immediate buyback. That's going to be Golem drop down too. Nando's BKB is down. Gabby jumping in looking for more. Grims is the one in trouble. If that's all they get, though, that's not worth it. Nando has Shadow Blade at the stomp about to hit. It doesn't. And Nando is out. They don't have the detection. But I actually think the buyback from the Enigma, even though he hasn't gotten anything out of it, is a good idea because now you don't have to deal with either the Golem or the Chronosphere. So you can take a fight or even theoretically Roche when it's up in a minute and a half, although it's going to be too late. But
if the Roche happened to line up exactly like within a minute, you know, they're going to know as soon as it spawns just because of the trap inside the pit. But no, you're right. This is good. Like, they've used all their big cooldown abilities. BKB on both cores have been used. No Chronosphere, no Warlock Ultimate. They can easily take this tier 2 tower and then control the map for the next, you know, however long until he's ultimates up. But,
what?
Oh,
what?
Jesus. Carl gets a solo
Are you
kill.
kidding? Oh my god. Like, how? I didn't even think that was going to happen. I missed another kill.
Oh boy. And Boombax has a gem.
Skylark's going to die again, I think. Skylark still has hole. They're going to get the kill on Grims again, but what does it matter? Carl is going to back up. Nando is going to get caught potentially by Ajit. Skylark's going to get LC. He's just dead.
He's dead.
This Enigma has not done what he needs to do in this fight, in these last two fights. And they're losing Boombox as well. It's all kind of unraveling for them. Ajit's now on his own. His refraction is down. He is dead.
My god.
This is turning into a slobber knocker for Execration. They get all 5 dead. They're going to get Roche. It lines up perfectly for them. What could have been a huge opportunity turns into complete and utter disaster, Brax.
Well, they don't know Roche is about to spawn in 20 seconds, so there is that, right? They could get lucky, but oh my god, like...
How does that happen that way?
It's... This Observer Ward in the bottom river, I guess. I actually wasn't watching when it happened. Maybe that, you know, gave away Morphling's position, and he was able to find the solo kill. But I don't know, like, when you buy back on an Enigma like that, you're pretty all in. You know, they didn't even take the tier 2 tower because Morphling happened to die before that. And now, yep, they checked the Roche pit. Roche is up, guys. Still no TA for 30 seconds. Let's just do this.
It's only a 3K lead, but that fight might have actually just ended the game, I think. Well, that might be hyperbolic, but...
It definitely put them into a position where they're going to be extremely dominant, right? And we have seen teams from a dominant position, you know, not be so dominant 2 minutes later. So that there is a possibility.
They didn't lose the gem, I guess. I thought they did, but he still has it on Boombox.
But the courier picked it up right away.
I see. Okay. Well, that's something. Gabby has died like 2 or 3 times out of the fight, and he's been essentially just 13,000 gold that is useless when these big team fights occur.
Yep, he's died a lot in some funky ways this game, that's for sure.
This is, I guess this is the upside to Nando on the Void. He gets off a sick Chronosphere or 2, and then he can just start owning. Now he's a cheese to work with. The Aegis is on Carl, obviously. He's working on his Silver Edge, which he's got. His Shiva's Guard, which you mentioned that he might pick up earlier, has finished that. So Execration don't necessarily need to push the pace too much. They don't need to necessarily try to push high ground, but this is going to be them trying to get as much map control as possible. They still need to be very careful because all it takes is one big black hole or stomp or earth splitter for this game to get broken wide open. And now there's a Daedalus on the Templar Assassin as well. So it is frightening. There are ways for them to win this game still on Clutch Gamers, but if Execration play correct... Okay. Carl is pretty speedy, and he's kind of baiting this, but... BKB, there's the Chrono! They found Boombox, they're looking for Ajit, he's in trouble, he's dead! No buyback, the Daedalus was just purchased, and Gabby, he morphed again! He keeps morphing, and he cannot get out with a time walk, the lockdown is too much. Elder Titan will buy back, they're gonna push high ground. Forget what I said about not pushing the pace, they're trying to finish this game off right now, Brax. My goodness. What a turn from Execration.
Nando just finds the opening with the Shadow Blade, Jesus.
Nando God, again.
Yep.
All tournament long, he's been showing up, and he does so in this third game. And they're not done yet. They want to finish this bad boy off. Carl continues to go to work. They're going to get probably 2 sets of racks. They can't get the third. There's a tier 2. Yol getting caught out. He used his freezing field. It got canceled immediately. You just talked about that. The life of a CM in this game. And it is all unraveling here for Clutch Gamers. If they lose, it's not the end of the series, but it puts them in a very precarious position, being down 2-1 in a best-of-5. It's not over yet, though. Skylark looking for anything. He's got the hole, but Carl's kind of baiting it in with the Aegis. He wants to die, but he's not going to give him the satisfaction.
My God. All right, and now all of a sudden it's a 13k goal lead for the side of Execration, and they still have the Aegis.
They did use Cheese for Nando, I believe. I don't think anybody else has it. Yeah, he did. Nando Chronos have been incredible. I actually don't know if he needs... He could theoretically go Ags if he really wanted to try to just find Chronos all the time and keep pushing the pace, but I think Mance is fine too.
Yep, I'm a big fan of his build, by the way. For the this is my favorite Void build. Where he goes for the Ramses into the Ramses build, Mask of Madness into the BKB, and you take both damage talents and the 20 damage at 10 and 100 time lock at 15. It makes up for the lack of damaging items, but you still have that excellent survivability needed to play competitive Dota. You know, if you're not buying a BKB in Pro Dota, you can't play the game. You know, you just die in these fights. You become this hero on the map that just gets jumped and dies all the time. But you get to BKB so fast when you just get Mask of Madness.
Uwe will use himself to survive. He'll still fall. They're going to try to take this fight. Carl's looking for the LSA he finds, and Gabby is in trouble. They'll use the black hole. It's too little too late. Chronosphere comes out. The snowball canceling it, and they've already lost 2. And Ajit's now on his own. The bash is coming in from Nando. The attack speed is there. It is 3 dead. They buy back on the Zeus to use the Zeus ult and the Nimbus. Very worthy of the buyback. They brought Gabby down because of it. They'll get 4 as Yol is in the sidelines, and they call GG. That is it for game number 3. What a performance from Execration. After like the 20-minute mark, they brought it back, and they did it perfectly, and they're feeling good about this best-of-5, Rex.
Well, Carl's just the comeback player. Down 2 levels, goes to jungle. Comes back 13-0-7. Does not die once.
Unbelievable, considering how that game started against a TA of all heroes.
No lead is safe, guys. Today.
That's right.